La lee ho, and welcome to another episode of Sharlayan Dropouts. It's a good Final Fantasy XIV podcast for bad academics. And when the moon hits your eye and it gets colonized, that's cosmic exploration. I'm your host, Archon Victor Hunter, and with me, as always, is my lovely co-host, Archon Nadia Oxford. How the hell are you, Nadia?
I'm good, but now I have a craving for McDonald's pizza.
Why?
Do you not remember that commercial? When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie.
Yes, of course. Of course I do.
That was the campaign. Yeah. So
Wow.
that's unfortunately it's destroyed for me. Now I just associate it with pizza.
All right. Favorite 90s McDonald's campaigns. Go.
Oh, I used to love the Christmas campaigns because it's like,
Uh-huh.
even though I'm Jewish, I'm from a mixed family, so I kind of got Christmas, but only if my mom wasn't fighting with my grandmother. So,
Sure.
uh, on good years, I liked seeing those. Like the animated one of the kid who's like falling down because he can't skate because he skates like a piece of crap. So
Yeah,
Ronald has to rescue him and give him like a hamburger so he feels like a human again.
of
That
course.
was a good campaign.
Yeah. I've got a basic bitch answer. I love Mac Tonight.
Next tonight, yeah, that's David's favorite as well.
Yeah,
That was a
I loved him. It was probably my first exposure to that sort of like lounge crooner
the lounge
jazz.
match, the other music.
Um,
Uh,
yeah, kicked off a lifelong love of Bobby Darin and Frank Sinatra, and
Hey, I mean, it works. Even if we horrible capitalism like just kind of feeds on us and gives us our inspirations. Unfortunately,
yep.
it's a
Sometimes that
it's a
broken
strange
clock
world.
is right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but we're not here to talk about. Oh no, we are here to talk about the moon. Mac Tonight is actually
It's
100%
the moon.
appropriate. Um,
Yeah, you're
we
right.
we are here, in fact, to talk about the moon. We're here to talk about, of course, the latest patch update. It's not a major patch update, but it's sizable. We got a good chunk of stuff. We're in 7.21 Seekers of Eternity, and we have been graciously gifted the moon in its entirety with cosmic exploration. This is our crafting and gathering, our large-scale multiplayer crafting and gathering content for Dawn Trail.
When
The
you
first part of
say
it,
that we were
anyway.
gifted the moon, do you remember Nintendo Power had the Star Fox comic? Of course you do,
Yes,
right?
yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Fox saves Farah for the first time,
Uh-huh.
and her father said you can have anything you want, and Fox is like, "Oh, we'll have first class tickets to wherever he was going," and Falco's like, "You could have asked for the moon," and Fox says, "Moons aren't as comfortable," and he's right. Mine's getting there. Actually, we'll talk about that.
Oh, sure. Okay, great. Yeah. Um Before we talk about the meat of the episode, of course, we always want to check in with what we've been doing in game. Nadia, what have you been doing in game besides cosmic exploration, if anything?
Mostly cosmic exploration, although I have
Cool.
been doing some maintenance, if you call it that, on my shoot, I am totally blanking on the name of the little guys who do your retainers.
Yeah.
I am doing some maintenance on one of my retainers because I've never actually, like, until quite recently, done like sent my retainers on voyages to get stuff like
Oh,
hunts and whatnot.
yeah.
Because to be honest, I was selling a lot of stuff, so they were, everyone was kind of preoccupied. But at some point, I decided, well, I should take it seriously because there's some cool stuff you can
Yeah.
get, as I understand it, if you're from field explorations.
Oh, yeah.
So my Dragoon is level 80, and don't like getting anything like extremely significant, but definitely getting like, for example, like better skins and catalysts and whatnot.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I'm waiting for the day I get some kind of rare minion or something really awesome like that. But it takes a while. Like, I don't think I've ever had a minion bring back, sorry, a retainer bring back anything super duper useful. But I figure that changes as he gets higher in level and he goes on higher expeditions.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's sort of designed for your retainer to get to its max level, and then you're sending them out on their ventures constantly, so you start to get the rare items from those ventures. But because everyone sort of does the max level stuff with their retainers, sometimes you want to let them do a lower level thing that might have a better chance of getting some of the older, rarer stuff. But
Interesting. That's a
also,
good idea.
also a lot of that stuff will sort of end up saturating the market and be on the market board for pretty cheap. So even a lot of the minions and things can
Yeah.
be pretty cheap. Yes, and of course your retainers can be selling things and also going out on ventures at the same
They
time.
can? Really?
Yes.
Why did I not know that?
I don't know.
Oh. What does he do? I'm just picturing my little Lalafell, like, carrying all my crap as he goes across the country looking for some
Yeah.
Touchka or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I accidentally gave my Lalafell retainer a very smart mouth, and
Oh
because
yeah.
I wasn't thinking when I made him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I should change that, but never got around to it.
I think one of my retainers is the tsundere, which is just them constantly saying, it's not like I want to insert action here or anything, and it's like it's just sort of a catch-all response, like
Not that I actually want to help you
yeah.
or something.
It's very silly. I, on the other hand, I've been doing a lot of fishing. So this was
Ooh, uh-oh. Endgame.
partly spurred on by the advent of cosmic exploration, but it has become the activity of choice for the wife and I. That is
nice.
our like winding down at the end of the day. Before bed, we'll do a little bit of fishing, and we'll pick a zone, and we'll go, let's see how many of the fish we can get here. And it's fun. We just we do it casually until one of us seems to not be able to catch a fish that we really want to catch, and then we'll look it up and we'll see what bait is preferred and where we should be trying to find it. But it's nice to it's low stakes fishing, as we just we like slowly seeing the fishing log fill up, and we like reading the flavor text and everything.
Yeah.
That's a big draw of it. But we're also not doing it to complete it. We're just doing it to kind of pass time and relax, which I guess is what people who actually fish mostly do.
Yeah, I haven't been real fishing in a long time, but I
Yeah.
find it extremely relaxing. If I had like more know-how and a place to go, I'd do it a lot more often.
Yeah, I haven't been fishing in 20 years, but
Gotta catch
yeah.
yourself a salmon. You're out there in BC.
I know.
You can catch salmon in Toronto. They're in the Don River now.
Oh
Believe it
yeah.
or not.
Huh.
Yeah, there's otters in the Don River, if you can believe it. Used to be so polluted it was dead when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was
good
there
stuff.
like a major like
Otters, man.
restoration initiative or something to get it not filthy?
Sorry, you went out there for a minute.
Oh.
Repeat that.
Oh.
I just heard filthy.
was there like a major public works initiative to like de-filthify the
Yeah.
particular
There was eventually a push to say like, okay, you know what, we should probably not dump sewage into our
Sure.
drinking water and stuff like that. That's there's so many areas of fresh water in the world. Let's pollute them.
Yeah, right. But that's been fun. I think fishing, I like how mechanically simple fishing stays. It's not quite like, and this is not including some of the higher level fish, the rarer stuff, the ones that you need your folklore books for. But like
Uh-huh.
simple fishing just stays simple. It's you've got you can alternate between a couple different kinds of bait. At this point in time, you can mostly ignore 90% of the bait that is out there in the world. I know that was an
There's a lot of
intimidating one
bait.
for me. I was like, this is my inventory is weeping at the sight
Yeah.
of this. But no, you can keep it simple with a versatile lure, and then pick up some specific bait for specific fish that you're trying to get. But I don't know. It stays pretty simple and stays relaxing, and
Na na na
um
na 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 fishing.
yeah, it's just I I don't know. I like it. I like it a lot. And there's the joy of it's the same thing I have for blue magic and triple triad
Mm.
cards. It's just nice seeing that Pokedex fill up, There's just
Get that
a
certificate from Professor Oak.
yeah, yeah. There's just a very simple joy to seeing a grid full of squares get checked off
Mm.
as you capture the fish. And yeah, the flavor text is great. I don't know, there's so much fun little lore bits hidden in the fishing log.
My hat's off to the people who write that flavor text because it is the most thankless job,
Oh
and
yeah.
yet it is so important.
Yeah. Yeah. Um Oh, I also want to cover a little bit of news before we move on to the main topic as well. Just a few things that I think we didn't cover last time, which is the new items on the online store. Have you looked at these?
Oh, no, I haven't checked those out. What are those?
So this is the Warden's attire and a modern aesthetics, the Warden, and the Far Eastern Performers attire. So Far Eastern
Right.
Performers attire, I believe, is from the Korean
Okay, I
client.
heard about this. Yeah,
I mean, they do
there's some
this.
controversy, I heard.
I don't think for this one. This
Oh,
is
okay.
because the Korean client gets exclusive costumes pretty regularly,
Right.
and then usually a few months later, it will show up on the cash shop for the rest of the world. Um, but the Warden's attire and the Warden hair is, of course, modeled after Azema,
Hmm.
which makes me think that we're going to get a slow rollout of outfits and hair for all of the 12 over the next little bit on the cash shop. I would be
Oh, so we
surprised
can
if
be
they.
the Hakuni Mitsu for Vegeta.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I would be surprised if this is just a one off, which also feels kind of redundant to me because back in Heaven's Word, we also got gear that was modeled after the modern interpretations of the 12. So
But that was so long ago.
it was so
Is it
long
still there?
ago. Oh yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
they want to. Maybe they just want to update the styles.
Well,
For,
sure.
for the modern age.
These ones are going to. These look much closer to the models of the 12 that we saw in the Myths of the Realm raid
Right.
series. The others
Yeah.
were in-world homages to the gods, kind of thing.
Interesting.
But yeah, I don't know. That's fine. It's a little bit expensive, but also,
It's always expensive.
what isn't?
Yeah, there you go.
Craft dinner, $3 a box.
Craft dinner.
What are we doing? All right, let's move on to our main topic for the week: cosmic exploration. Nadia, tell me a little bit about cosmic exploration and what your experience has been so far.
Well, it's interesting for me because when I came into the game for the first time, the diadem was like not done, but it was like getting there, and that would have been kind of an intimidating thing for me to jump into, so I mostly ignored it.
Was this
Um,
Ishgardian Restoration diadem?
yeah, Ishgardian Restoration,
Okay,
then the
okay.
diadem. Well, actually, I went to the diadem. Sorry, I'm thinking the Ishgardian Restoration. Yeah, so I didn't really do much of that, but so this is my first time kind of really encountering this gameplay from the start,
Okay.
and yeah, it's great for me because I have like so many crafting and gathering classes that I've kind of neglected since God, the end of Endwalker at least.
Hmm.
So right now I'm doing my Weaver, and it's pretty much what you'd expect. Where you have like these cosmic tasks that you kind of check off, and then you check into and then check off, like with your tablet, your little, Loperit tablet. It's very cute,
Hmm.
and you're doing things like what you'd expect, like craft some of these, craft some of that, et cetera, et cetera. Turn them in, get points. You can exchange the points for stuff, and also I don't know if they call it this time, but the Kupo of Fortune analog,
Cosmic Fortune.
where Cosmic Fortune. I have not gotten anything good from that from that
No.
yet. Yeah, so I'm just kind of like losing my pants on that. But what the conflict is do you spend your lunar credits on Kupo of Fortune, or do you do it for like mech ops, which I have done mech ops at least once. I think I did it once. I actually got selected to do the
Yeah.
bulldozer,
Right.
and that was fun. And honestly, the rewards that you get for doing it and spending those credits are actually pretty good. So it's worth
Y-
doing. I think you get like a super ticket
Yeah.
to
It's
to the Cosmic Fortune.
it is 100% worth it to your first 1,000 lunar credits. Put that towards a pilot application, um,
Yes.
because you will. It might take a while for you to actually get picked to redeem that application
Hmm.
permit, because you do have to, when a mech op comes up, if you have a permit, you can apply to be one of the mech operators for that particular mech op, and you may not get chosen. You'll still keep your permit, so you can use it next
You'll keep your
time.
permit.
But if you do get chosen, you spend that permit, but the rewards for being the mech operator during a mech op are a lot better. And then you also get your Big Bang Cosmic Fortune ticket.
That's it. Yeah.
And you also get 1,000 lunar credits. So
You get it back.
there's no downside to getting yourself a pilot application. Um,
You're right. Yeah. It just might take a while. I got lucky because I think I was playing early in the morning one day,
mhm,
so I was selected really, really, really quickly.
mhm,
But I have been in a couple of fates, and what's interesting is I did one, and then one followed directly after that, and I had been in the area for some time beforehand. People saying, we don't know when's the fate gonna spawn, when's the fate gonna spawn, and every
uh-huh.
time you finish a fate, you get to see kind of like the fruit of your works. Because what you do is you run back and forth and you like recharge batteries or something like that.
Okay, so
And
these
there's a
are the when we got to back up for a second because
okay.
these happen when everyone on the server has reached a certain threshold.
Oh,
So
okay, interesting.
this is like the Gias Fets in Ishgardian Restoration. This was like when you reached the threshold in Ishgardian Restoration, and everyone participates in an instance wide fate. I think they're called.
Mhm.
I can't remember what they're called off the top of my head, but everyone participates, and it's a pretty rudimentary task of ferrying something from somewhere to somewhere else.
Yeah.
But then when everyone completes that, it shows you what has been upgraded in the zone. So server wide, um, the lunar base is in a certain state, and as everyone over time cooperatively contributes to a bar that will fill up, when it reaches the limit, then everyone gets to participate in one of these things and permanently upgrade the zone with a permanent
Yeah.
fixture.
It's pretty
So
cool.
one of the criticisms was that 2 of these thresholds got passed within the first 3 hours
Yeah,
of
it
the
was pretty
update.
quick.
So a lot of people didn't even see what the lunar base is supposed to look like from the very
Oh,
beginning. A lot of
interesting.
people,
Yeah. Yeah, because I
um,
went in right day one.
I mean, you had to be there in the first 3 hours to see what it looked like at first. It was completely barren from the beginning.
Yeah.
It was it was virtually nothing. So I didn't see what the first 2 phases look like. And then they added that was even before they added the what's it called, the Cosmo Liner, which is the
Yeah.
like little teleport
Okay, yeah, by
tram.
the time I got there, it had been there. So
Yeah.
you're right, people had started
Yes.
a while. And I got on there very early, like
Yeah. Oh
almost as soon
yeah.
as the update was done.
That's yeah. It's people. There are some people who are a little cheesed that there wasn't a bit more of a time gate on some of this progression, because people felt like they missed out on stuff. Now, did they actually miss out on stuff?
That
I
FOMO.
Yeah, it's more of a FOMO thing than anything. Though I will say that as someone who was there for every phase of Ishgardian restoration, there's some fun NPCs and some fun dialogue and some fun through lines that happen as you progress. Like every stage of Ishgardian restoration had one of the workers who had fallen off the side and was hanging from a beam and insisted that he didn't need help and would get up. But every phase he was in a different spot because he kept
Yeah.
falling off the side. So there's always someone dangling off the edge. And you'll watch characters as they progress and comment on the developments that are happening. So I don't know, for the people who really like to see all those little bits of texture that they give the world, I can understand. If you just kind of wanted to see it,
Yeah.
you can look it up. I don't know. We're also in a
It's hard.
world
It's one of
where
those.
uh,
Yeah, it's a dynamic world. Not much you
yeah,
can
I
do.
mean, Revenant's Toll and Idyllshire are permanently completed, and new players will never see what those places
Yeah,
looked
I
like.
never saw Mordona or Idyllshire when it
Yeah,
was new, and
yeah,
that would, and I understand, like that would have been really cool to participate in. But that's the whole point of FF14 is okay, you missed this one. There's always going to be another one. You just
yeah, yeah. Let there be a little bit of a temporal element to this game. Like there's got to be a little bit of that somewhere, you know. Um, but yes, so it's doing a lot of uh, uh, crafting and gathering. Look, mechanically, a lot of these quests that you're doing between these big major instance wide events are just leaves. They're just they're exactly the mechanics you would be doing if you were doing a leave quest for a disciple of land or hand. This is we time is a flat circle. We have gone back to leave quests, which was originally 1.0's claim to fame, and then slowly got phased out over the course of ARR. Um, oh, Nadia, are you there? Oh no. Do we cut out? Hello? Oh no. Chat, are you there? Have we lost Nadia? Oh, oh. Can't tell if we've lost Nadia or if we've lost me. Let's go. Let's see if we can just fix this. Oh. Nadia has rebooted her modem. and and we'll be right back. How is everybody? Yeah, got sundered. Who out there has been playing Cosmic Exploration? How have you been enjoying it? I have a lot of things to say about it. So loving the live tapings. Great. Good. I'm glad people enjoy it. I'm glad we can keep to a schedule and she should be back any minute. Not a big fan of how gatherers have like a 5-minute wait between optimal leaves. Yeah. Yeah, very leavey. So usually just do the daily log, whatever event is running, move on to the next day. Yeah. Yeah. I've got a lot to say about that exact sort of thing. But I gotta save it for when Nadia's back. The Restless Masses want more of it. You're playing FF11. Oh, thank you, Restless Masses. I appreciate it a great deal. Yeah, I gotta find some time to hop back in. I'm about to get very busy very soon, so I want to finish off Chains of Promathia pretty quick. Yeah, we might be able to do a Chains stream this week sometime. Depends. Yeah, talking about leave quests in 2025, huh? Pretty wild. Here we go.
Sorry about that.
Oh, that is okay. I think it's going
Rogers.
to be very simple to get back on track. Here we go. Boom. There we are. What was the last thing I said?
We were talking about you were basically people were having FOMO over they weren't there for like just the
Sure.
dynamic the beginning
Yes.
of the moon.
But then the actual moment to moment gameplay of Cosmic Exploration, let's face it, is glorified leave quests. It's
Oh yeah.
it's that's it. The all of these stellar missions are mechanically exactly the same thing that we've been doing for 12 years. Which is fine. It's just funny that time is a bit of a flat circle. 1.0's big mechanic marketing push was celebrating guild leaves and leave quests and how
Yeah.
revolutionary they would be to the structure of the game. So and then they showed up again in a sort of truncated form for ARR where they weren't as important, and then they slowly got phased out for the combat classes and have sort of stuck around kind of in some shape or form for the crafting and gathering. So,
Yeah, I still do leaves like if I need to pick up a level at low levels,
sure. Yeah. Um but that's kind of what we're doing. And then we are waiting for a timer to go off for a large scale event to happen. Whether that's the mech ops, which happen I think every 20 minutes or so, and then there's the red
approximately.
alerts, which are
Right.
they're usually they're also large scale events that so God, there's a lot going on here because mech ops, as soon as the objective is complete in a mech op, it is done. So you
Yeah.
have to be pretty quick about your mech op participation. For the red alerts, they are on they 15 minutes long, I think, something like that.
I think it's longer. Like I was in one that was like half an hour, but it didn't take that
Oh,
long to
I don't.
finish
Yeah,
the
I don't
task.
think it might be 20 minutes or something. But um, these are each time a red alert pops up, it is you get a handful of the classes are available for it. So it's not something that everyone can do. So it does sort of incentivize having at least a range of crafting and gathering classes you can do.
Mhm.
Um, but then it lasts for the duration of the timer. The thing that I think gets me about this large scale crafting and gathering stuff is that all of these timers are just sort of arbitrary. You're not it's not like Eureka or Bosnia where the actions of the people in the instance are what informs the larger scale events that
Right.
happen.
I see you're going. Yeah.
Like Eureka, if you want particular fates to pop, if you want NMs to pop, you gather with a group of people and you pursue that thing and you go kill certain mobs to get things to pop. In Bosnia, if you want certain critical engagements, you have to kill certain kinds of enemies. If you want duels to pop, you need certain fates. And then there's still skirmishes and things that are popping organically, but you and the party you have put together in this instance are influencing what events occur. Um, and to some extent, sure, the contributing to the overall score and then activating those events that then transition the area into a new phase is contingent on the activities of the players, but it's in a way that is abstracted. Like you never really know how much you're contributing to the
Right. I
overall
see. Yeah.
success, which is also fine. There's something to that. There's a collectivism argument to be made about that. That
I think
even
it's just crafting versus fighting. Like the new what we're getting next is for some reason I'm thinking Crescent Island, which is Final Fantasy VI. The
occult
new
crescent.
Occult Crescent. Okay, so yeah, I was close. So that I would assume is more like, okay, player interaction spawns this, this, and this. Whereas I don't know, maybe people. My experience on the moon so far is just everyone's shit talking as they make shit. It's pretty fun. It's
Sure.
I do see where you're coming from though, but I don't really see it as a huge detriment myself.
Well, it just makes it feel like you are just doing leave quests until the arbitrary timer has run out, and then you get to
You are
go
working for the
do,
rabbits.
and then you do, like, regardless of whether you are participating or not, mech ops will pop, red alerts will pop.
Mm,
There's it's a false sense of community engagement and agency, um,
yes.
which I think is counter to the idea of everyone working on something together. And you, like I say, you eventually reach that point when you all get to make that transition into the new phase where something new has been built. But to the point of the people who are complaining that they missed out on certain phases, that eliminates that sense of community involvement and community engagement. That you do miss out on those interactions. Um, and
Did Ishgardian Restoration have this problem?
it also had this problem. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
The
it's not something that they'll fix, possibly.
Well, it's just that it's something that is present in the combat field operations, but isn't in the crafting and gathering field operations. That I think actually speaks more to the ethos of the crafting and gathering missions than it does the combat. Because yeah, I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way that uh, you are just you're just doing leave quests and you're just waiting for a timer to go off, and the timer is arbitrary. Is all I'm saying. It's
Does that mean you won't be doing it, or are you just
no. I
venting?
just think that there's a missed opportunity here to
Mm-hmm.
actually have player engagement be more meaningful than it is here, because the whole point of this is to feel like we're all contributing to something, but they have missed out on what that feels like when they have it in other field operations, but they don't have it here. That's my
Yeah.
criticism. I'm not saying that means it's broken or bad. I'm just saying they do this other thing here, and I feel like it would fit really well here.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's understandable. Yoshi P, you hear us.
yeah. Um, then okay, I guess I've got like three main criticisms that I'm going to go through here.
Was that number one,
That
or
was
was that
number one.
two and one? Okay.
Number two is in there is an imbalance that leans towards the crafting classes. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I can agree with that.
gatherers are in a bit of a shitty spot because crafters, the way crafting points work is they are restored at the end of every craft. You are
Right.
each craft is like a little puzzle, and if you don't solve it, you get to start again with all your crafting points. Gatherers are more about a long game and
Mm-hmm.
sustainability. Uh, gatherers are in a bit of a war of attrition with their gathering points because those do not restore after you gather, um, which means that gatherers end up having more forced downtime
They
because
do.
they're waiting for GP to restore, they're waiting for their cordial timer to run down so they can pop another cordial. It just means that, yeah, gatherers have a lot more dead air between their activities.
I saw a meme with like Dr. Manhattan sitting on the rock in Mars, and the GP bar just like at zero slowly
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
a cordial, which you can't use a cordial. You can't like slam it. You have to wait between cordials,
yeah.
as I recall.
Yeah, it has a cooldown timer. Also, consider that we have not had a new type of cordial in the same way that we get, potion, high potion, max potion, X potion.
Good point.
We
Yeah.
have our cordial and our high cordial, and as GP limits get bigger, we don't have another type of restorative to bring that thing back to max. So, plus the fact that in things like the red alerts, crafters are crafting is location agnostic. You can craft wherever you want, and that is usually right next to the place where you want to drop off your crafted materials. So crafters can just camp by the place where they need to drop stuff off, craft, and drop it off and complete their tasks. Gatherers are all about location and have to do all the running back and forth and running around to finish their drop off quests.
You
So
can drop stuff off by the tablet, but there's still a lot of running around.
you can drop stuff off by the tablet?
Yeah, once you meet your goals, you can report your success. Like, you just go back to the tablet and
Yes, but
select,
in
like,
red
turning
alerts,
quest.
in the red alerts.
Okay. I haven't done a red alert with my gatherer yet.
So these expect gatherers to run out to locations and then bring them back to the drop-off points.
Okay, that does suck. Sorry, gatherers.
Yeah, it just means that it just kind of favors crafters. Is this a huge deal? I don't know. Maybe they recognize this and there's some fine tuning in the numbers that means that gatherers get a little more experience or whatever. I don't know. But the way it feels is like I have a lot of time spent waiting for a bar to fill up.
It does feel like an oversight, especially without like a max cordial. Even just give me that.
Yeah. My third criticism. It's the same criticism that I had towards Island Sanctuary. It's the same criticism that I have, well, maybe not so much towards the Diadem and Ishgardian Restoration, because I understand the narrative scaffolding behind that kind of supports this a little bit better than these things, but Cosmic Exploration, Island Sanctuary, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Harvest Moon.
Just catching strays, doing nothing.
These are experiences that promise slow life, relaxation. These are, especially Island Sanctuary, these are marketed as initiatives that are designed to be casual, fun, slow life adjacent experiences, until you actually get into them and they are capitalistic productivity software machines that are designed to, I get it. It's an MMO. I love a grind. I appreciate a grind. I'm going to say a bunch of positive things right after this, I promise. Because I think that there are a lot of things that this does well, but it's within a framework that I think I've grown to dislike. Especially because I got into Cosmic Exploration hoping that it would be an extension of my experience fishing in 14.
Yeah.
Part of what I love about fishing is the flavor text, the slow experience of it all. It's slower paced, it's relaxing, whatever. Of course, there are people who can turn it into a non-relaxing experience. But the fact that I arrive on the moon and I'm just seeing a numbers go up Skinner box of meters filling and numbers filling and gauges filling. And I thought,
It's the good stuff.
I just wanted to go fish on the moon.
Did they have a place to? I was just thinking about that. Okay, where do the fishermen go on the moon? Can you do fishing on the moon?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, totally. There's pools of water. I'm trying to figure out. I
yeah.
can't find if there's an NPC who explains it in world, because next to these little ravines and things that are full of water, there are like industrial pumps next to them, and I keep thinking,
Oh, cool.
okay, are these pumps that are there because these were filled in? Are these man-made ponds
Mm-hmm.
and lakes and things?
Right.
Or
Cool.
did these pre-exist? Because
Right.
the fish you are catching on the moon do not contribute to your fishing log. They're merely cosmic exploration resources.
Right.
So I'm not getting fun, weird fish. I'm not getting fun, weird lore or flavor text. It's, yes, thank you for the Whalers on the Moon
Whalers
reference,
on the
NK
moon,
dude.
carry a harpoon.
Yeah, it feels, there's an insidious element to it that I also felt in Animal Crossing New Horizons. It is purely about contributing to this economy that has been wholly invented and is scripted. And there's a sad determinism to it that I think I find existentially terrifying.
I don't know, when when the whole thing first came to existence, I was like, well, guess I'm going to service for the Loperids, because I figured if anyone's capitalistic monsters, adorable ones, it's them.
I mean, they're not though. They're the ones who are like, free yourself from the shackles of the fate that had been decided for you before your
That's true.
creation.
That's why
We
you
are
become a
about,
podcaster.
yeah, we are about, the Loporits are about, making a new name for yourself and deciding what you want your fate to be and what your passion is.
I
And
do like
this,
that naming way. It's like, here's my extensive report on the Ethereans.
yes,
Small.
yeah, they're very small.
They're very small. Good job.
Anyway, those are my complaints. Positives. The UI is incredible. The new assets they've made for these menus are adorable. I love all the
They're
little
so
space
cute.
stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
I love rabbits.
Cosmic
Rabbits.
Fortune is, it's punishing, but it's fun. I just want to gamble sometimes. There's nothing wrong with that.
There's some pretty funny pictures on Reddit of, like, because it seems like the boards are randomized, like what you get, the slices of
Yes.
the pie are all, so you get like these boards that are literally one thing, and you
Yeah.
spin, and you're like, you want your mech because that's how you're getting it.
Yeah. No, it's great. I've gotten, I think on my second or third one, I got the selfie emote, which I think is very, very cute.
Oh, I haven't gotten that yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna run all this stuff until I get my mech and maybe I get a cosmic tool. We haven't even talked about the cosmic tool progression, which I think is also falls under my dreaded capitalist productivity software feelings, but also I contain multitudes. I think it's also a fun alternative to how they've done the relic weapons in the past. So, yeah, I like being back on the moon. I love the moon.
I love the moon.
Uh,
Hey,
in
thanks.
real life, the moon is my favorite thing in the world. I love the moon.
Yeah, me too.
It's
See,
the best.
the moon's amazing.
The moon's incredible. Life would probably not exist the way it does if it weren't for the moon. The moon,
No, the oceans depend on the moon.
yes, tides, tidal pools were so important to the evolution of species that we can't. Yes, the moon is integral to everything we do. Even you can get into a woohooey spiritual sense if you want. I, however, just appreciate the moon. Practically speaking, I think it's an incredible thing.
Yeah, it's a practical thing. The moon's a very practical thing. We're lucky to have
Yeah.
it. What's your zodiac sign anyway?
Oh, don't even get into that with me.
I'm just curious. I mean, I don't really believe in it. I just think it's interesting.
Yes, I do not believe in it one lick, but I am a Scorpio.
Oh, okay. So there you go. Yeah, I'm a Cancer. So we're moon people.
Is that what that means?
I know Cancers are ruled by the moon supposedly, and I know Scorpios are water signs. Most water signs are ruled by the moon apparently.
Oh. Is being ruled by the moon same as liking the moon?
It can be, I suppose. It means you're moody.
Huh.
But yeah, it's I know it's not real, but it's just like kind of fun. It's like, evaluating humors or blood types
Yeah.
or personality types.
What were we talking about? Okay, yeah. What do you tell me? I just went on a big complainy rant. Lighten the mood for me. How are you enjoying it? What do you like about
It's
cosmic
funny.
exploration?
You mentioned the community, and the thing I was enjoying is the fact everyone's just kind of talking, and that's what I liked about the diadem. Is just everyone, doing their thing, and it is relaxed enough that you can, kind of sit and type for a while.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, I had 2 red alerts pop up one after the other, and it was a really busy night. They were completed very quickly because there were like dozens and dozens of people,
Mm-hmm.
and there was when we completed it, someone was just like, "Did we pay Square Enix to run back and forth for 15 minutes?" And it's like, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And there was someone who appreciated me because, you're just yelling whatever stupid random stuff into the ether, and someone's like, "We got a Rock Down 2." And of course, I wanted to answer Electric Avenue, but my autofill put it Electrope Avenue, which I thought was very clever, so I left it.
Totally.
And the guy was like, "Yay!" So
very good.
just a lot of that kind of shit going around was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's, it is kind of boring and repetitive, but as I said about the diadem, sometimes you smoke too much weed and you can't really trust yourself to tank. So
Sure.
you're like, I'm going to go to the diadem.
Yeah.
And I was actually saying that once at Otakon to a friend of mine. And the guy who was waiting in the elevator in front of us started laughing his ass off. So it's like, yeah, he can, whoever you are, you can relate.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
and to be clear,
that's what I've been enjoying about it. Sometimes I just like to do repetitive tasks, like, farm fates and whatnot.
Yeah,
And
I truly do not mind boring, repetitive stuff. That's not what I'm saying. I can appreciate a grind. I love a grind.
Yeah.
I find it very relaxing to end an evening with a podcast on and something to grind in 14 or whatever. PSO2, because I'm also playing a lot of PSO2.
Are you feeling PSO2? How many
love it.
big booby ladies are just running around out there?
Oh, New Genesis is full of absolute freaks. If you playing
It really is.
PSO2 Classic, it's a little more tame.
That's a little more tame, yeah.
But NGS is wild. But I'm having a lot of fun. I think PSO2 is really great for what it is, and for a free to play game, I've got like 400 hours in it over the last couple months, and I thought,
wow,
dang it, this is good. Story's goofy, characters are fun. It gets real anime. It gets a lot more anime than I like my Phantasy Star Online experience to be, but whatever. That's just how it goes. But also, the fishing in that is nothing compared to 14.
No, 14's fishing is kind of insane.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Amazing.
It's a game in itself. It's an MMO in itself.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, that's how I feel about Deep Dungeons. That's how I feel about Eureka.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel about Bosnia. Like, there are 14 is games within games within games.
Pretty incredible, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I know we complain a lot, but it's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, and I like to think we don't complain too much. I
I don't
I'm
think we're too bad.
I'm pretty I'm pretty positive about 14 in general. It's why I have this
You are.
podcast. Is I like to spread some positivity. But when I
You're right.
see
Yeah.
when I see something like cosmic exploration, which overall I enjoy plenty and think is a lot of fun, and I'm glad it's not like Island Sanctuary where it could have been a crafting and gathering experience,
Mm.
and instead they just let you craft and gather, but not as a crafter or gatherer. Um,
Exclamation mark?
yeah,
Question
I
mark?
I think I think this works better for that, and Island Sanctuary I felt was insidious in its presentation, even more so than Cosmic Exploration. But no, I'm having a good time. I think the music is great when it does that piano
Oh, music's fun.
arrangement.
Yeah.
When a red alert is up and you get that lovely piano arrangement.
You get
Um,
the uh get Hey Sid for one thing
yes,
when you're like, suiting up to get into the mech,
yeah,
and then you get the airship music from 4. Like
yes.
just a chip tune.
Which
Beautiful.
are orchestrions that you can purchase,
Yes, which I need to do.
which is very nice. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about cosmic tools. Um, Usually, most expansions have a relic weapon equivalent for crafters and gatherers. Dawn Trail is no different. We're starting out with our cosmic tools. Now, in the past, it's usually been you get a quest to go out and gather, go gather 500 of this very specific
Yeah.
resource, and then come back and we'll upgrade your tool. Cosmic exploration, I like how it works, because what you're doing is all of the quests that you undertake give you research points. And as you passively build up these research points, you hit a threshold and then you take it back to the counter, and they say, you did all your research, great job, we
You
can
did all your
upgrade
stuff.
this weapon to the next level. And because cosmic exploration is open to level 10 crafters and gatherers, your weapon starts out at level 10. With every threshold you pass, that gets increased by 10 levels. So eventually, you get to, I believe there's 9 steps, and you get your final step is your cosmic weapon, which I believe is level 90. Someone in chat can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But of course, these thresholds that you need to reach get exponentially larger and larger. So they do sort of scale with the new quests you unlock, but the grind is still there.
Yeah.
I like this. I like that it's just sort of a passive thing you can do while doing other stuff. That's one of the
Yes.
problems with past weapons like the Splendorous tools and things like that is you're just devoting an evening to getting 500 highly
Yeah.
specific granules of ore from one specific spot. And I hope you enjoy doing that. I hope you enjoy running from the same 3 locations in a little triangle for hours upon
Yeah.
hours. What's your history with pursuing any of the crafting or gathering relics?
I have done very like little of the legendary kind of
Yeah.
crafting weapons and gathering weapons. I tried with
Yeah.
I can't remember what they offered in Shadowbringer, but I just got tired of trying. So
Yeah.
it was the grind. It was you had to secure the certain ingredients. You had to, it was difficult to do. It was just not a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
I think this is better for one thing, as you say, it's a passive thing,
Yeah.
and for another, like when you check the tablet to see what your goals are, it's like beside each goal, there's a picture of a very stern-looking Loperate, or as stern as they can look.
Yeah.
And when you complete it, and it says take it back, and you see like his portrait has turned into a smiling, when they do that little thing with their fingers and the
Yeah.
dimples, and just into a smiling portrait of that. I'm just like, that's so fun, so cute.
You can also just hang on that screen and he'll have other stuff to say too. He'll just sort of muse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he'll just sort of think about stuff and his portrait will change and you'll get a little bit of dialogue.
I love that stuff. Like, I love the Loperites. I think they're like, I love seeing Naming Way again, like his little hood and crimson cloak and everything.
Yeah.
And he did his report. Good for him. It was worth it.
Yeah.
And I don't have the Naming Way minion. I meant to get it, but I haven't gotten it yet. But I'm just glad to see him.
It's in your it's the item code you get in Encyclopedia Eorzea Volume 1.
Oh shit! Well, I have that.
Yeah.
Okay. I have it somewhere.
Way.
There's probably a piece of cardboard in it somewhere that I haven't touched.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a little slip of paper in the back cover that will give you that code.
Beauty. Good old Naming Way. Yeah, I love the Loperites. I think they're a great design. I was just thinking of that line Living Way does where it was in Endwalker. Uriange's over talking to someone else in the distance, and Living Way's trying to hear. She's like, "Oh, curse these ears! I can't hear bugger all."
Yeah.
I just love them. They remind me of me.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty Nadia coded.
They are.
Do you think you're gonna go after like what are you using cosmic exploration for? Like, do you have a goal in mind?
Not like a hard goal, but I'm definitely in it. Like, I want the mechs, of course. There's like the cosmic suits look pretty fun. I'm hoping to get that. I like being part of the experience. Like, even if I'm not there every day, all day, I will certainly check in, like, for the milestones and kind of. I look forward to watching it grow. I like the fact that even though you are missing out, there is a lot of FOMO involved. Seeing the permanent upgrades and being a part of that team is a lot of fun, and people are having a lot of fun. Like, I saw a great picture of one of the things I helped build was little capsule houses, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there are these little tiny things, like, I don't know if they're just meant for Loperites or whatever, but someone put a picture of their Femro standing by one of the sinks, which is like up to her knees, and she's crying. And she's just like sad because tall.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
it's stuff like that. It's just a fun fan interaction. Like, that's the stuff I'm looking for.
Yeah, totally. I think, look, I like participating in these a lot. Like I said, I have my criticisms of the flow of it, but I also think this is one of those things that Yoshi P said going into Dawn Trail was Endwalker focused on a lot of solo stuff. The fact that they were focusing so much on getting all of the duty support and even Island Sanctuary being a completely solo experience. They said going into Dawn Trail, and the fact that Endwalker didn't have an expeditionary zone or a foray, adventuring foray, or whatever they're calling it now. I can never remember what they're calling them. Field op, expeditionary zone, adventuring foray. They've called them many things over the years, but the fact that Endwalker didn't have one of those, and saying straight up in Dawn Trail, we're going to focus more on the community element and on the fact that it is an MMO and that you need to engage with other players, is important. So even if the structure of cosmic exploration, the scaffolding of it is a little apathetic towards the actual player interactions, I think even having these big instances where people are gathering is fun. I think just giving people a reason to be doing things around a large number of other players is going to create the kind of interactions you're talking about. And one thing that I like about cosmic exploration specifically over Ishgardian Restoration is that if you go to the firmament in Ishgard,
Hmm.
it was split up into a few instances, but you're there with 100 some odd other people.
Yeah.
But if you're going to the diadem, that is an instance. That is a timed instance. It's treated like a dungeon.
Right.
Much like how Eureka and Bosnia are treated as dungeons with timers. And because of that, you get a separation. You have all the people who are in the firmament, but then you have all the people in the diadem. And
Right.
the fact that cosmic exploration is actually treated just like a field map zone. Like it's just a place you can go, and
Yes.
yes, right now it's split up into a few instances because there's a large volume of people there. But it's like any other map. It's a place you can go and be there.
It's a place to hang.
Yeah. Which is it might feel like a little thing, but there's something about, as much as I love Eureka and Bosnia, there's something about seeing it treated as a dungeon that you're going to with a time limit to it and all the usual limitations of a dungeon or trial instance.
Mhm.
It feels a little outside the game space. It feels
Yeah.
there's a disconnect there. So I like that cosmic exploration is just a field map, and there's weird fates and things going on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense to anyone else listening, but there's
No,
something
I
to that.
totally understand what you mean. I
Yeah.
was thinking about that too, actually. It's just thinking about how it feels much better as an integrated kind of experience because going to the diadem did kind of feel a little bit isolating. You were with other people, but you weren't really part of the firmament the way you are for cosmic exploration.
Yeah. It separated things a little bit. It makes me hopeful that maybe they'll treat Occult Crescent the same way. I
Maybe.
would really like that if Occult Crescent didn't have a timer, but no, because I think this feeds into what I was saying about the character and the player agency in the space, because I think Eureka and Bosnia are treated as instanced dungeons so that they have better control over like the timers on the NMs and when they can pop and when players can start
Yeah.
pursuing other things. So I don't know if the way that it's constructed would be able to work. I don't know. Purely speculation on my part, but it would be nice to feel like some of these places are just maps you can go to, as
We'll
opposed
find
to
out. When does the next update?
that'll
Like
be in a month.
when does it happen? There you
Yeah,
go.
I think it's May 25th or something like that. But
Wow.
of course, I'm excited about that. Anything else you want to say about cosmic exploration?
Uh just that I want to play more of it. Heck, I'd do it as soon as we're done here.
Yeah,
Get some lunch.
and of course, this
Do
is
some
just the
cosmic
first part.
exploration.
This is just the moon. If you're following the flavor text as they are building more places on the moon, you can see that they are gearing up to send starships off to other places.
I helped build the rocket platform. So
Yes,
yeah,
so
that's pretty cool.
that platform is where they will be launching their starships to the new cosmic exploration zones that we'll be getting with each major patch. I believe every
I
major
hope they
patch
do
is
better
going to
than
be getting one.
Medion.
Yeah, yeah,
She didn't do so when she went out
yeah.
there.
Hope we come away from those planetoids with some different lessons.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I was down on it a little bit, but obviously, I think this is a net positive. It just has
I agree.
some of the underpinnings that I think are a little tired. But Yeah,
We're old and tired.
I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say
Yeah.
about cosmic exploration on this fine Monday morning. What do we usually plug? What happens at the end of this show?
That is an excellent. I was just thinking that, like, what do we plug? Of course,
Hey,
we're part of the Blood God.
yes,
Patreon.com/bloodgod.
of course.
Can't go wrong.
This is Sharlayan Dropouts. It's a good Final Fantasy 14 podcast. We record every other Monday here on Twitch, usually around 11 a.m. Pacific. If that schedule is going to change, we'll usually let you know over on our Blue Sky Blood God Pod or over on the Axe of the Blood God Discord. And then episodes go up, of course, on your podcast feed of choice on Wednesdays. If you want ad-free versions, head over to patreon.com/bloodgodpod. You can subscribe at the $5 level, which also gets you the Axe of the Blood God newsletter from Nadia.
Sure does.
We got 2 newsletters, but this is their extra special paid one. As well as ad-free episodes of the Axe of the Blood God main show. And of course, for the $1 level, you get Discord access. You can hang out with us, play some 14. We usually have like 2 or 3 community 14 nights over on the Discord with an amazing group of people. So
Yes.
that's open to
They're
people
great.
of all skill levels and all levels of progression through 14. We've got some newbies, we've got some vets, we've got everything in between. So come hang out.
We're here to help.
Yeah. I think that's about everything. Anything else you wanna mention, Nadia?
No, I think I'm ready to eat lunch. It's election day here. I gotta go out and vote.
Yeah. Hey, if you're in Canada and you're listening to the live stream, go vote today. If you're listening to the podcast episode, you're too late. What have you done?
Too late.
You've betrayed your country.
You betrayed the queen, who's dead.
With that is the end of this episode of Sharlayan Dropouts. Thank you all for listening. And as always, we do not know, but the moon does. She's in on it. She's smart. She knows what's up. Goodbye.